these are the original 14-inch original wheels. They're like a slotted steel rally with a chrome trim ring. I've never seen these before. I've seen them on the trucks, like the slotted rallies from GM, but I've never seen them on a small bolt pattern like this before. Those are 6th gen Camaro SS wheels, and they're 20-inch wheels. And I got 2-inch spacers on there right now, but I think 2 inches is a bit much. I think it's a little bit much. I think the wheels are actually a little bit much myself, so I'm not too sure about that. But I got Pontiac center caps. I found some Pontiac center caps that actually fit in the Camaro wheels, so. Well, I got Kijiji'd, I think. Went and looked at some 18s, because these 20s are a little bit big, a little bit large. These are a little bit better. I can actually get full lock on the steering now, but the tires are a little bit small. I think a slightly bigger tire might help. It's got a little bit of a wheel gap. This one's got a big crack in it, this tire, on the inside. That's no bueno. It's no good. These ones are off the 95 Firebird. They're 18-inch BMW, but these ones are wider. These ones are 8.5s, I think, 8.5 inch wide. Yeah, 8.5 by 18, it says on the back side. So I like the lip on these ones here, but the tire is no bueno, and the tire is a little bit too small. So this is a 235/45, and that's a 225/40. So this is a bigger tire. This one's got a little bit of road rash or curb rash, but this tire is safe, and that one is not. Got my torque wrench here, and I've got it set to 94 foot-pounds, and I'm just going to double check the spacers and make sure they're torqued. I like these wheels better, but I like this tire size. This tire size better. Backside of the one I took off, 18 by 8. That's the dimension. So it's 18 diameter and 8 inches wide. So these ones are 8 inches wide, and these ones are 8.5. Well, I got both sides on now, and I definitely like this tire size better. This tire size fills out the wheel well a little better, and it rides a little bit low in the front. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but I think a bigger tire would be fine, and I wouldn't mind getting a little more ground clearance for like the exhaust and oil pan and stuff like that. Tried to get both to spin, but it's always the passenger side that spins. I'm gonna have to get a mini spool or posi or something, or maybe weld her up. But yeah, I just don't want to eat all the rubber. But there's still lots of rubber left. That was a pretty small burnout, pretty pathetic burnout. Okay, I got a fire chicken with rusty calipers. They're in pretty good condition actually, pads and calipers. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean them up and put the high temperature paint. We got a wire brush and a paint brush and some compressed air. So this is not really greasy, so I don't think it needs to be degreased. It's just a little bit dirty and rusty. Compressed air. So she's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to take the spacer off. That's a 2-inch spacer. In there you can see the piston. The piston's in good condition, and the pads are black and blue, so they're in good condition. Lots of meat on them. The rotor doesn't have any gouges or warps that I can see, so it's not perfect, but it's straight and it'll do for now. Okay, the only prep I did was I masked off the strut. I just put some paper over the strut. Put a piece of paper in the ejection port here of the caliper. So I'm not too worried about the rest, to be honest. If you're really picky, you can mask off your pads or take your pads apart, take them off. Alright, let's just screw it, just do it. I'm going to focus on just the caliper. I'm not too worried about the overspray getting on the caliper bracket or rotor, but I'm just going to focus on the caliper because that's the part that I cleaned. But one thing at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You never know about these cans when they've been sitting. This is the high temperature stuff, so I guess you need high temperature for drums and rotors and chemical resistance. And that's sort of what it looks like after one light coat. I didn't even completely cover the whole thing. I just wanted to avoid runs and just put the first coat on light. So I'll come back and do a second coat on this one. So I guess I'll do this one. The first light coat on the driver's side, and then I'll go back to the passenger side. It should be dry by now. Oh, I forgot to take off the wheel spacer. Shit. Yeah, put a little bit of gas on the brush here, and I'll just wipe the gas. Look at that. It just comes right off. Same with any grease and oil. A little bit of gasoline. I keep gasoline in a spray bottle and an old paintbrush, and I can really degrease parts for cheap. Anyway, take that off. The mosquitoes are starting to chew me up, so I don't want to waste too much time, and my drill battery died. I guess I'll stick a few pieces of masking tape on the brake pad. I sort of like them because they're black and blue, and the only part that doesn't really need to be painted because it's still got paint on it. Yeah, I put that one on a lot heavier than the other side for the first coat, but the mosquitoes are starting to chew me up, so I just want to get it done. That's a heavy 2 coats, or a really heavy second coat, so maybe I'll put a third coat on it. Well, the calipers turned out like that. I think I put 3 coats on them. 2 coats last night and 1 today. So I know there's some overspray on the rotor, but that'll probably just wipe off. So let's talk about sway bar end links. Sway bar end links. This is the passenger side sway bar end link, or what's left of it. So that's 1 link there. And what do you think? They're still good, eh? She's still good, bud. Still good, probably. Probably not. Oh my goodness, what's going on? So I got these from CarQuest. They're only like $3 or $4 each, and I painted them. I didn't paint the rubbers or the bolts or the nut, but yeah, I decided to paint them. I think they were like a bare metal. So I got this side on here. All of that's one link, one side. So I just painted these parts here. They were like a bare metal, bare steel, or galvanized. I don't know what they were, but anyway, I figured I'd paint them. So they're not performance links or performance bushings. They're just normal neoprene rubber. But they look cool now, or at least they might not rust as fast. They might last a little longer. 11 components. There's 11 pieces here just to make 1 link. So yeah, one of the reasons why I painted them is because of rust. And rust is the reason why the old one twisted off. And the old ones have like a split sleeve, so rust can get in there. And like I said, they were bare metal, so they can rust faster. Canada's bad. We have salt and humidity and stuff. So I painted the new sleeve. The new sleeve is not split. There's no split in it. And then I'll put one of these rubbers on it with the pilot facing up, because the pilot will center itself into the lower control arm. They compress, and the bolt is just barely long enough for doing this. I know they compress down and everything comes together, but there's just barely enough for you to grab some threads there. So out with the old and in with the new. So I torqued her down, and she's almost at the end of the threads. The rubbers are making full contact everywhere. They're nice and snug. It's a nylon locking nut, so she's good. Tighten down on both sides. Some of this masking can come off now. I said some of this masking can come off now. Anyway, Okay, caliper looks kind of good. Looks a lot better than it did. Same with the sway bar links. They look a hell of a lot better. A lot better than that. Oh my goodness. What a terrible mess. So sway bar links, calipers. I'm going to put the spacers back on. No! It's the golden plated torque wrench. No! So what I'm going to do is stick something substantial in the fins of the rotor there like that. I prefer something square, has more contact surface on the fins or whatever. That way you're not damaging your tool or your rotor. And I'm just going to let it come around and hit the spindle and it'll make contact there. I've got my torque wrench set to 92 foot-pounds. I'll probably give them a torque like this and not do all 92 foot-pounds, not all at once. So I'll just get a feel for them, go around and do the pentagon pattern or the 5-star pattern every other, and then when I get those 5 done, then I'll come back and do 92, and I'll get a click at 92 foot-pounds. Hit her about 3 times just to make sure. 1, 2, 3. We got the painted caliper, shiny spacer, new sway bar links on a rusty old car. Oh my goodness.